to our September energy call where we'll discuss Libra. Real relationships begin with you. So Libra is all about relationships and harmony. And the purpose of tonight's call is to go through some of the Libra qualities with you, share some Libra ideas so that you can see where Libra is going to show up for you as we enter the Libra season, which begins next Thursday. We're a little early this month, so we're getting ready. So for those of you that don't know me, that are watching this on YouTube later, my name is Mary Beth Wollenschlager, and we run a company called Love Your Life in Sync, where we help people find greater ease and be able to say with more regularity and more authenticity, I love my life. And we do that through repatterning our thoughts with some heart harmonizing energy. And we also draw on things like astrology and things that we've learned along the way. So we'll get started tonight. There's all the contact information. There's the website and my phone number and my email. And we'll get started. I like to begin our calls with some heart harmonizing. And this is inspired through the Heart Math Institute. Every quarter they put out a little request for people to come together and focus on this quarter. It's about focusing on the power of collective intention. And per the Heart Math organization, they're saying that this is an amazing time for groups of people to come together with collective intention from their heart to help create change for our world and our planet and humanity. But many people are feeling helpless about what to do because of our world situation, the violence, the unrest, the uncertainty of so many things, climate change. But the upside of these situations is that more and more people are turning to their heart. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to focus on the heart and get connected. So more of us are recognizing the need to be kinder and to care more and to have more compassion if we want to get along with each other and help dissolve the walls of separation. The global heart is awakening and can help us with this. So this idea of groups of people coming together is not a new idea. Many small groups created much positive change. Gandhi in India started the change with just a small group, as did Martin Luther King. And research has shown that the effectiveness of an intention gets magnified when a group focuses on it, because it's the heart that breaks through the separation and the polarization. So I'm going to walk you through a technique tonight to help support the dignity, respect, and deep listening that helps build heart-to-heart coherence and empowers the idea of collective intention. So I invite you now to take a deep breath, get comfortable in your chair, and if you like, close your eyes, maybe place your hand over your heart if that feels comfortable. When we touch our heart, we take our mind, we give our mind something to do. Mind, even if it's subconsciously, we are focusing on the heart. So focus your attention in the area of the heart and imagine your breath flowing in and out of your heart as you start breathing a little slower and a little deeper than usual. And find an easy rhythm that's comfortable. And then I invite you to activate feelings of kindness, appreciation, genuine compassion, as well as an attitude of deep listening. And as you activate these feelings, letting your body really feel them. Don't just think them. Radiate them out to the space you are in. And this helps to lift your own vibration as well as the vibration of those around you. Imagine radiating rays of light from your heart, like sunshine. See this help to soften the field environment, making it easier for people to release pent-up anger and frustration, resentment, fear. See people replacing these feelings with compassion, kindness, and the helpful intentions that we all desire. And Libra likes to be helpful. Libra relates and wants to connect and be helpful. Now let's radiate our compassion to anyone in need. Maybe you have people in your family or you're close to that are going through challenging times. Maybe radiate some to yourself for your own internal struggles and external struggles. And radiate compassion to our planet. Sending some energy and love to Mother Earth as she provides us with a beautiful home. Being in the Libra energies, we're going to increase our awareness of how we relate to each other, to ourselves, and to our environment. I invite you to see the power of the collective heart, helping to ease suffering and draw in creative solutions that work for all of us. And from this grounded space, I invite you to let this presentation tonight just wash over you. See what resonates with you. See how you relate to it. Take the best and leave the rest. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and we'll get started. So we're going to open with this quote. This is from a darling show called Never Have I Ever. It's on Netflix. I'm not going to tell you who said this or when they said it in case you haven't seen the show, but I recommend it. It's a very poignant show and it's funny. I think one of the funniest things about it is that John McEnroe actually narrates the show. And it's mainly about a young woman, young high school student. And John McEnroe gets in her head and narrates the show and shares what she's thinking and sometimes what he's thinking about what she's thinking. And it's pretty funny. But this is just a great quote. And just think about this. I don't think we can have a real relationship until you like yourself. So I feel this is a very Libra in quote because, well, you'll see, actually, I think I'll take us right to the next slide. And even though Libra is about relationships, it's also balancing the relationship we have with ourselves. So I like to share a little bit about the astrology of what's going on. So the sun is going to be moving into Libra next week. And astrology is like one big wheel. There's 12 signs. And so we start with Aries, and now we're up to Libra. So Libra is actually the 7th sign. So that means it's opposite Aries, which is the first sign. And Aries is all about the self, and Libra is about the relationship with the other. But these are really more like yin and yang. One leads into the other, because the first 6 signs, and now Libra is the 7th sign, so the first 6 signs in the natural zodiac have to do, they're known as the personal signs. So Aries is about the self. If you think of the analogy of a small person, a baby. So a baby is self-absorbed with itself. It's mesmerized by its own fingers and toes. And then the second sign is Taurus, and Taurus is also about the self. Taurus is about what I own, what I value. Think of the 2-year-old, and one of the favorite sayings of a 2-year-old is mine, mine, this is mine, this is mine, you can't have it, it's mine. So then we get to Gemini, the 3rd sign, and that's like a child going to school and starting to learn and starting to explore a little bit outside the home, but it's still a very young child, and it's again more focused on the self and just growing up. The 4th sign is Cancer, that has to do with the family. The 5th sign is Leo, which is about how you express yourself. And then the 6th sign is your work or your daily routine. So now when we get to Libra, so all those have to do with our personal self. So Libra is the first sign that's what we call part of the interpersonal signs. So the next 3, Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, are about developing our interpersonal relationships. So Libra is about balance. So a good balance for Libra incorporates what they learned through the first 6 signs. All the signs in astrology build on one another. So the Libra quality of focusing on the other requires, in order to do that well, it requires a strong sense of self, which comes from the Aries sign. So the Libra Association. So the sun will move into Libra on September 22nd and will remain there until October 23rd. So if you have a birthday during this time, then you're a Libra. But even if you don't, the sun will be there, and so the Libra energies will be available to all of us. So astrology is all about patterns, and the pattern we focus on primarily is the sun when we talk about Libra from September 22nd to October 23rd. But there are a whole bunch of other planets out there, and they're all constantly moving and traveling through the signs. So whether you're a Libra or not, the sun will be in Libra, and then the sun in Libra will talk to the other planets. So that will affect each of us in different ways. It will relate to the sun in Libra depending on where our other planets are. But the core Libra energies are what we're going to focus on tonight. So the core Libra ideas are about harmony, being in relationship, being in balance. Libra is considered one of the more genteel or refined signs. Libra is about evenness and fairness. And those are really 2 different things. Like evenness can be about spreading something evenly, like pouring concrete that needs to be spread evenly. And fairness is when you have a cookie and you're splitting it between your two children, you better make sure that that cookie is split fairly, right? Or somebody's going to notice. Libra is also about cooperation. And because it's more of a refined or genteel sign, Libra is about suggestions and being helpful. The key phrase for Libra is I relate. And if you think about relating, there's a difference between having knowledge and knowing. So you can have knowledge, and maybe it's book knowledge, but to really know something, you have to experience it. It's not the same thing, right? Reading a book about something and experiencing something, like reading a book about having a child, is a lot different than actually raising a child. So it's the experience, it's the relationship. So Libra, while Libra does value knowledge because it is we'll get to that in a minute, but it is an air sign, so it does value mental energy. It's also a social sign. So this idea of knowing, to really know something, you have to have an experience of it. So you have to engage with it and relate to it. So common Libra careers might be things like the diplomat, because the diplomat kind of balances things out and tries to smooth things over and negotiate, right? Get parties to agree or represent different ideas in a way that will be received, as opposed to just demanding something. That wouldn't be very Libra, like to demand. A Libra is going to be more diplomatic about things. It also includes lawyers and arbitrators. And the planetary ruler for Libra is the lovely planet of Venus. And Venus is all about love and beauty, which also makes Libra one of the more gentle signs. And Libra enjoys beauty. So understanding the Libra nature. So we begin with the polarity, and this switches every sign. So we're currently in the sign of Virgo, which is the last sign in the summer months. And then we're going, and Virgo was a yin sign. So the Libra nature is more outgoing. It's expressing outwardly. It's singing. This guy's holding up the microphone, and it looks like he's got some ideas for his song. So he took that internal energy of creating this song, and now he's going to express it. We talk about the quality of Libra. So Libra being the first sign in the fall season is considered a cardinal sign. So Libra is about initiating and starting something new. The element is air, like I mentioned earlier. It's both mental and social. So we have some women here, and they're engaged in, you can tell by their facial expressions, but they're really engaging in some mental activity. And it looks somewhat social because they're all sitting on a small couch together. So I feel like they must be friends, or they must be close. But Libra is about talking and sharing ideas, getting together, conversing. The woman on the far left looks a little intense maybe. But she's also very beautiful, which is, she's very beautiful with her outfit, which is Libra, being Venus, loves beauty. So it's about sharing ideas. And then we have the symbol for Libra. And the symbol for Libra is the scales. Not those scales. These scales, the scales of justice, the scales of balance. And one of the really interesting things about Libra is it's the only astrological sign that has an inanimate object as its symbol. Now, isn't that interesting, since Libra is about relationships and it has an inanimate symbol? But the thing about Libra is, rather than about a being, it's more like a state of being. So it's a state of being in harmony, or a state of being in balance. So that's where the scales come in. And also from mythology, Libra was associated with, these scales were associated with the story of when you pass from this life and you're going into the next life. They would weigh your heart on the scale, and one part of the scale would have your heart, and the other part would have a feather. And your heart had to be as light as a feather for you to cross over into the next realm of living or experience or relating. So that's a really interesting idea. Is your heart as light as a feather? What will it take? How can you relate to that idea? Do you relate to that idea? So, ways to embody the Libra energies. First of all, we talk about the parts of the body that Libra rules. This includes the kidneys, the adrenals, and the low back. Now, the kidneys help support and regulate the heart through the fluid, the control of the fluid. So kidneys support our heart harmonizing exercises and techniques. And the adrenals sit on top of the kidneys, and the adrenals are our fight or flight. So when we're in overwhelm and when we're out of balance, the adrenals kick in. And then the low back has to do with, this is where we store our strength. So you always want to protect your lower back when you're lifting something, but it's from the core that we lift, and the core and the low back are where we have our strength. And you can think of strength, again, relating more to yourself, how you relate to yourself, but the ability to have strength is the ability to hold yourself up even through disappointment and disillusionment. That takes strength. And so that's what's coming through in this next month when we're in Libra. These are the energies that are going to be available to us. This idea of strength and being able to hold the high watch for yourself. Hold yourself even when there's challenges, and when you're feeling overwhelmed. So the colors associated with Libra are light blue, pink, and lavender. And it's nice to bring in the Libra energies by either lighting candles in these colors, wearing these colors, decorating in these colors, painting in these colors, picking flowers that have these colors. Just whatever we can do, whatever we want more of, if we can engage with these energies, then we bring more of these energies to us. And during Libra, because it's ruled by Venus, you're invited to find the beauty every day, find the beauty in the simple things. Just admiring this woman, like probably most of us wouldn't be able to do this pose, but isn't it a beautiful pose? Isn't it an amazing pose? She has a beautiful body and the strength that she's demonstrating with this pose. So being able to appreciate someone else's strength, being able to relate to this picture, not saying, oh gosh, that would never be, that's never going to be me again, or that never was me, never will be me, but just seeing the beauty in it, relating to it from a different perspective. And the antidote to feeling overwhelmed is seeking balance. So when we make decisions, we can ask ourselves, is this decision going to bring me more balance? So I think that's an interesting question to consider, because sometimes we decide to do something, and if we're already in a state of overwhelm and we're deciding to do something even more, is that going to help balance us? Or can we make a different choice where we might choose something to help us relate to ourselves in a better way? And the last thing I have here is to remember to give as well as receive, and then also receive as well as give, because they are both two sides of the same coin. So maybe we're better at giving than we are at receiving. So with Libra relationships, often we want to put the other person first, which is fine as long as we have a strong sense of the Aries energy, where we really do include ourselves. And we remember that there are two people in a relationship and we both have needs. So we want to be able to receive, we want to be able to support as well as be supported, feel the support. So some Libra suggestions. This reminds me of my dad. My dad would love giving unsolicited advice, and he had a famous expression to get him out of trouble for giving unsolicited advice. And he would say, I can't help it. I am just naturally helpful. And because I'm my father's daughter, sometimes I feel like I am just naturally helpful and I want to give unsolicited advice. So I'm starting to practice, instead of giving unsolicited advice, I'm starting to practice saying, would you like some feedback? Because this is a much gentler way. And then you can find out if maybe the person just wants to vent. Maybe that's how they're relating to you. And maybe you can best support them by just listening to them. Maybe, sometimes we think we need to fix or help people fix things. And maybe they just want to be heard. Maybe they just want you to practice that quality we did in the initial power of collective intention, that idea of deep listening. So during Libra season, practice, if you're tempted to give unsolicited advice, practice instead pausing. And that's another Libra thing, just the idea of finding that neutral space, that space of not deciding one way or the other, not judging, not saying something is wrong or right, just holding that open mind, and then pausing and then saying, would you like some feedback? So again, the Libra idea is that real relationships begin with you. And there's a lovely South African greeting called Sayabanga. And Sayabanga means, I see you. And the response is, I'm ready to be seen. So wouldn't it be nice to start your day by looking into the mirror and saying, I see you. And then responding, relating to yourself and saying, I'm ready to be seen. I'm ready for this day, for whatever this day brings. I'm ready to embody the Libra and the Venus energies and find the beauty. Find the beauty, relate to myself, relate to others. Wouldn't that be a nice way to start your day? Because Emerson tells us we must be our own before we can be in others. And another powerful quote that brings in the Aries side of the Libra is, staying true to yourself is more important than making everyone else happy. And this is a good thing to remember during Libra season. This helps keep us in balance. This helps keep the Aries energy for the self, taking care of yourself, taking responsibility for your own energy. You can't just keep giving and giving without acknowledging what's going on for yourself and what you need. So that is our Libra presentation for tonight. And next, oh no, there's one more Libra suggestion. So again, Libra and Venus are about love, and these two aren't speaking, but you can see that each other is the beloved. So Libra and Venus invite you to take another look at this word and split it into two. And then it becomes be loved. So you're invited by Libra and Venus this month to be loved. Allow yourself to be loved. Even if it's just from yourself, allowing yourself to love yourself, allowing yourself to feel as though you are loved. And that is our Libra presentation for tonight. And next month, we will be delving into Scorpio season with the Scorpio energies. And that call will be on Wednesday, October 19th. So I hope you can join us then. And in the meantime, here's my information. And just know that things are shifting. We are starting to vibrate at a higher level. And we're doing this through relating to ourselves and relating to each other. So I invite you to think about what you want to engage with. What do you want to relate to this Libra season? Consider what's important to you, what's going to bring you into balance and into harmony. So I hope to connect with you soon, and thanks for watching.